What up, everyone? We are in another day of no Minnesota sports, except the Twins. The Twins play tonight, 6:40. Joe Ryan on the bump. Everyone, welcome into Twin City Sports Talk. We got Bruce, and we got the Twins on pace for 161.
Woo!
Yeah, go Twins. We got a good chance tonight, Joe Ryan on the mound, but that's all the Minnesota sports you got. And I'm just gonna spoil this. People were recording this on Tuesday night, and I wanted to say that because right now the Stars are losing again to the Bruins 3-2. So the Stars keep losing. They've won one in their last 8 games, I think. So the Wild, they had a chance. It won't be completed.
They aren't that bad, are they? Dallas?
The Stars?
Are they really 1-8? Yeah.
Dude, they are let me read you their schedule in the past 7-8 games. Starting with the Utah game on March 16th, loss. They beat the Avs 2-1. Then they lost to us 1-2. Either way, they gained a few points in these, but lost to the Wild, lost to the Knights, lost to the Devils, lost to the Islanders, win against the Pittsburgh Penguins, lost to the Flyers, and as we're recording right now, they're losing to the Boston Bruins in the third period. Horrible right now. And of course, this is the one stretch where the Wild are also playing pretty horrible for most standards. This isn't a Wild episode, though. We got a large episode. We got to get to it. I did talk about the Twins game tonight. I'm going to pop my prediction up for tonight. The way we're doing predictions for the baseball season, these standings on the left are not updated because Trevor has the lead now. Those were the standings when we first did this. The way we're doing these MLB predictions, we're doing the whole series as a combined thing. We're both predicting who will win the series and by what margin. We both said the Royals would win the series 2-1. Probably will happen. But then Trevor and I both pick one game out of the 3 or 4 games in a series to make predictions out of. Trevor chose game 1. I chose game 2, which game 2 is happening tonight. I said the Twins would win tonight 4-2. Royals, no home runs. Twins, 2 homers in this game. Trevor, he did say the Royals would win game 1, so that's good for him. And he said Bubic would have 5 plus strikeouts, which he did not. He had 4. But either way, we've gone over that already. Here's my predictions tonight. Just a little update on that. And then game 3, it's really just going to decide if we get our series prediction right or not. So no player prediction or score predictions in game 3 at all for us, but that's how we're doing MLB predictions.
You know what I just realized?
This year. Yeah.
Just in general. I'm not even looking at Kansas City weather, but when games get postponed, we're going to have to circle back for some of these series predictions. Yeah, when it's rain on, they'll schedule it not till later in the year to be played. But we'll deal with it when it gets to that point.
Exactly. And they might get to that point this weekend.
If
you're going to this opening series at Target Field, dress up because we will be.
Yeah, I honestly don't even think I'm wearing my Twins jersey or anything. I'm just gonna winter jacket. I'll have my hat. That'll be it. I'd rather be warm than.
They're giving out the hats though.
Well, right, but with my hair, I just couldn't survive. So unless I want to wear a hat, but then a winter hat on a hat would look stupid.
Yeah.
So I think I'll just
Before we go any further, we're going to talk about our sponsor of today's video, Athletes Edge, with Jen Prouty out of Brookings, South Dakota, working with competitive and elite athletes across a variety of sports like hockey, wrestling, and football. She helps strengthen the mental side of performance by developing skills like focus, emotional control, confidence, and consistency under pressure, working with athletes, teams, and coaches both locally and nationwide through virtual consulting. She uses evidence-based approaches that complement physical and technical training while supporting long-term development for these athletes. Here's how to contact her, athletesedgepc.com. There's her phone number. She answers the phone whenever I call her, and whenever you call her, she will answer the phone. So if you need anything to help strengthen the mental side of your performance, Jen is the woman to call, and her socials are right there. And when you do call her, tell her we sent you here at TCST. And everyone have a great day. We're done for today. All right. Main part of this episode. This is why I've been kind of chipper and going a little bit fast. We got a full first round and second round mock to do. Mock draft of the NFL draft coming up officially this month. And so what we're going to be doing is there's one kind of thing we have to, one rule that we're putting ourselves on this draft. There must be 5 trades in the first round. That's our That's our motto right here. 5 trades. That's what we have to worry about. But we're doing a first and second round. 2 weeks ago, we just did a full first round. The reason why we're doing 2 rounds, the second round too, is because most of these first round trades will require a second round pick to trade up in most cases. So I think we should just get right to it right away here.
Yes, but before we do, even though this isn't Minnesota news, kind of cool to see this for MLB stuff. And it makes you think, right, with how deep the Twins prospect pool is. For a quick pivot, did you see the Mariners gave Cole Emerson an 8-year extension?
Yeah.
Which it makes you think if the Twins
I could see this.
Yeah. Us being a complete rebuild, I wonder if like the Twins have considered or if there's like thoughts in the back of their head to do this with any of their guys.
I was thinking Kalen Culpepper. I when I saw that earlier today.
Really, Culpepper? I was thinking Jenkins.
But Jenkins I can't trust with the injuries.
I suppose, yeah.
Jenkins is always that's.
But it's just the same thing. It's just interesting to see this because this guy hasn't even played in the MLB yet. So
yeah, it's very raw, but yeah, it's
pretty cool to see. So we'll see. Maybe the Twins follow. Because I think Ozzy Albies, however many years ago that was, I think Albies was another guy.
Yeah,
that signed before or like either signed that like right before his debut or shortly after. But yeah, anyways, let's get to the mock.
Yeah, that's a good topic though. We'll have to maybe we do a video on like candidates for that to happen.
That would actually be fun. We'll do that.
That'd be a good one. All right, here we go. We're doing a full mock. Let's just start it. We're going to be going a little bit quicker this time, people. So listeners, visual audience, we have the whole chart right here on our website to keep you guys into it. Visual, just try to stick audio people. Spotify, try to stick along with us here as best you can. Vegas is up first. We know where we're going here. This is the obvious one, Fernando Mendoza. All right. And that for every pick here, I'm going to ask, we're going to look at trades, but all right. So there's one. Dallas is willing to trade both of their first round picks.
Yeah. What was that? 12 and 20?
12 and 20, both but the Dolphins are also the Jets at number 2.
Well,
the Dolphins.
Okay, at least for the Dolphins, why would the Dolphins trade up? Just because they need every pick they can get. Yeah. So I think in that case, we'll immediately decline Dolphins.
Okay, that's fair.
But
the Dallas one is very interesting here.
Just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
So, wait a second. The Jets would have picked 12, 16, and 20.
I'm just trying to think. Is that really fair value though to go from?
If we could counter, and ask for like another 5th round pick or 4th. I feel like just throwing another like day 2, 3 pick in there would make it fair. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You get 2 first round picks back,
and then
maybe even like another 3rd. Like, I know that's we could offer it. First, and a 3rd.
Try 112.
Okay.
What's the pick after 112 for Dallas?
152.
Yeah,
I think this is fair.
I just feel like 12-20 is slightly.
All right. There we go. There's our first trade, and it's a very interesting one.
I'm gonna write these down. So Dallas.
Yeah. Dallas has traded up to the 2nd pick in exchange for both first round picks and a 4th and their earliest 4th round pick.
All right, so it's 12-20. What was the 112?
Yeah, 112.
Cool.
All right. This is interesting now. So, okay, Dallas obviously in Reese here. The Micah Parsons instant replacement here.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. But talking about Parsons, did you see he was at the Wolves Dallas game in Dallas?
Oh, really?
Sitting on the It's funny because Jim Peterson kept joking how he's always on his phone. So really, obviously, it wasn't a close game.
Look at this now. All right, we got to keep moving on. The Jets want to trade back up using 12 and 20.
Has that really ever happened in real life?
No.
I think not that it can't, but I don't think a team.
Yeah, no, that's never happened. Houston 28, 38, and 59, a 1st and 2 seconds. But that's trading up. No, that's not realistic. That's trading up 25 picks.
I think in this case, Arizona keeps.
I think I was just going to say that. Arizona will keep right here. And now I talked about this possibility with Arizona. Their running back room, James Conner, aging, always hurt. We actually just talked about this off air today, or maybe it was on the show yesterday. I forget. But Jeremiah Love would be a good fit for Arizona. I know Trevor's hot take from yesterday. He thinks Jacoby Brissett can get the job done for Arizona. I could definitely see it, but it's like a long-term quarterback situation.
Well, didn't we just look at it? Who is the running back?
It's been Tyler.
No, who did they sign? Algier.
Okay, so you're right.
I don't know if they would go running back.
I would probably say they would go Ruben Bain here.
That or Bailey.
I would probably go Bain. Bain is too good of a talent to pass up. Yeah, let's go Bain here.
All
right. Tennessee. And now Tennessee's been mocked a lot to pick Jeremiah Love. I'm getting rid of all these future ones, if anyone's wondering. The Giants want to trade one up. Giants want to trade up maybe for Caleb Downs. They are trading, obviously, the 5th and then 105, so a third. Well, actually, that's an early 4th-round pick. No, it is a 3rd-round pick. What am I thinking? The Saints want to trade 4 spots up.
And then 105 isn't that 3264?
No, it is a 4th-round pick. Yeah. I don't know. I'm all mixed up.
Yeah, come on, kid.
It is 1 pick, and you get I wouldn't do that. I don't think Tennessee would.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
the only one is the Saints. Saints want to trade up 4 spots, and then Tennessee would also get a 2nd-round pick at 42. We could see what they have to maybe.
Why am I blanking?
Oh, okay. I just exited out of it on accident.
Well, we could always send it.
We could, but
I'm just thinking Pollard is still a solid running back. It's just bad teams who hasn't really been able to excel. But
yeah,
if they can build a little bit more and help make it
easier on. Here's what I'll say is maybe they do trade down to the Saints. Let's actually do that because they need a wide receiver more than anything. I know it says it right here, but Cam Ward needs a reliable weapon there. He's had kind of Kelvin out of his prime.
I guess real briefly, the only thing I'm thinking of, if Tennessee would want to take Love, obviously here, go out of it real quick. Say Love is the guy they want to. Love was the guy they were trying to get. Giants and obviously Cleveland would take him, but Washington would. So then they would lose out on Love. So that's like the only.
But I think a wide receiver is the best fit for them.
Yeah,
and they have a ton of options for the Saints. Okay. Let's go and let's accept that.
And I suppose they are still in that full rebuild.
142, and then let's also throw in 132 and see if the Saints. No. Yeah, all right. This will probably get it done. Just what the Saints offered, 8 and 42 for pick 4. Yeah, Trev.
Yeah, why don't you not go through though? Yeah,
of course, of course.
They are keeping.
Oh, dude, this is not a good spot for him, but. I mean, you're gonna pull. I think you have to take Carnell Tate here. He's 1A or 1B of the best wide receiver in the draft.
Yeah, no, I get that. Just because you gotta start helping.
Yeah, Carnell Tate. Okay. The Giants will take Caleb Downs in this spot. They need that help on the safety. And all right, Cleveland. Let's look at some trades. Oh my gosh, all of the trades carried over here. All right. You have a pick, or you have a trade from the Bears and the Jets. The Jets are very amped trading up again. The Bears, you're not dropping 21.
I don't really like either of those.
The Jets.
I guess that's not terrible.
It's not terrible. Who would the Jets be trading up for now? I mean, they're trading from 12. Oh, maybe a wide receiver. But the Browns, they need a wide receiver too. The Browns really need a wide receiver. Mr. Jordan Tyson right here. Makai Lemon. It's tough. This is tough right here.
I think we'll say Cleveland keeps and goes receiver. Or do they go receiver?
Well, here's the thing. I think they could drop down to 12 with the Jets offer here and still get a receiver. I think they think that too.
I guess the Jets do have the ammo to trade up.
Let's do this. I'm gonna see if there's anything we'd counter, but well, I mean, if you really wanted to pick up the value a little bit, you could do 2 first-round picks, but I would say 33 and maybe just throw in a 4th-round pick right there. Yeah,
not even gonna go through.
I don't know. It was the red bar was already there before, but All right. Of course it won't. Of course it won't. All right. Do we just accept this one then? You trade back 6, and then you also pick up the first round, the first pick in the second round. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Jets back on the clock. And now the Jets are in a spot where they can choose a wide receiver, or you can get Sonny Styles, which
real quick, it was 12 and 33.
12 and 33. So yeah, that's our second trade here. Jets are included on 2 of them. Now, Sonny Styles, very interesting, and he would be a beast on the Jets. Simply put.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go Sonny Styles. Washington, Jeremiah Love. They're not going to listen to any trade offers here.
I think they're just running back. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Saints. Edge, David Bailey. This is a no-brainer. Led the FBS in sacks. No-brainer. Well, I guess we should do our due diligence and look at the trade offers because we still need to make a few. Saints. All right, Houston. No, we're not dropping down 20 spots. The Browns want to move up 3. They get another second rounder. The Saints do. Now the Browns. Interesting here. No, I don't think that's unrealistic to have them trade back up after they traded down for a reason. So with the Saints, I think David Bailey's our pick here. Yeah. David Bailey. All right, Chiefs. Now get another wide receiver here for Mr. Patrick Mahomes. But the Mansour box is probably what they're going to want to do. Because
didn't they lose their top 2 corners too, right? Trade and free agent
and Watson. Yeah.
So
I think Delane is our pick. Chiefs, there's your probably number 1 or 2 corner right there. Yeah. All right.
Bengals and their defense.
Their defense needs some work, although you'd have to go all the way to Jermod McCoy.
Trade down here?
A trade candidate? Yeah, let's look at this. All right, so the Browns automatically offering
division rival.
Yeah, so the Chiefs, I don't know if they're not.
Yeah, they're not going 29. Even 24 seems too low.
It is. It seems.
I think we just decline. I don't know. I don't think they do that.
Some more popped up here. Okay. The Panthers are offering to move up 9. The Rams. This one's interesting. So you pick up a second rounder, late second rounder.
Here, scroll down real quick, but I agree.
Spots.
Yeah. Okay.
Jets 16 and 44. Ooh, there's a couple good offers here. I'm gonna exit out of the Browns and the Panthers. I'll let you look at these real quick because I think this is a pretty obvious trade down situation. For the Bengals.
Get rid of the Bengals. 61 is too low. The Bengals
the Rams.
Sorry. Yeah, that's right. The Bengals are the trading.
Yeah.
All right. So then it's either go 15-46.
I would probably go Jets. It's one spot in the first.
I think you value the first. I think you just do Tampa.
Okay.
Just in case,
Well, actually, just before we look, what is Tampa going to want here? Oh, Tampa's going to want one of the big guys, Spencer Fano or Francis. So, yeah, we'll go Tampa. All right, Tampa, they're going to choose.
All right, hold on. I got to write this down.
Oh, yeah. All right. Tampa, and then
keep doing anything. So, Tampa gets fit 10, and then.
What was it, actually? What was the trade?
45, was it? So
45. Yep. All right. Tampa's up. There is no trade offers. Weird.
Wait, sorry. All right. It was 15 and 45, right?
Yeah, 15 and 45. Yeah, it was. All right. With this pick, Tampa would not pass up the value in Francis. I always say his name wrong, but Moigo, I think it is. Either way.
Confident.
No, I did not. That's their pick. That's who they traded up for. Miami. Now, does Miami acquire even more picks? The Vikings have something to say. All right, so Vikings move up 7 spots. Now, who would the Vikings be drafting in this situation? No one of very interest unless we're going to exit the Vikings. That's not.
Yeah.
Do our due diligence there. Chiefs, that's too low. Only realistic one here. Panthers move up 8 spots. You also acquire a second-round pick if you're the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins, they do need a wide receiver. You just traded Jalen Waddle. lose Tyreek.
How many spots will they drop here?
They have the two wide receivers.
No, I'm saying like in that trade, we're considering Miami's going down from 11 to what? If you take the trade offer?
Oh, to 19.
Yeah, that seems too low. Their receiver room is just absolutely shot.
They're gonna take Tyson or Lemon. It's just who they like in the moment. I would probably go Tyson with them, so we'll just go Tyson. And then the biggest need for the Browns, they are gonna take Mekhi Lemon right here. I guess we should look at a lot of trade offers here. Houston, no, that's too low. Chiefs, too low. The Rams want to trade one up. Now, okay, this is interesting. They want to trade one up, and then you also acquire a second-round pick.
Yeah.
The Eagles a bit too low. The Steelers trying to trade in division up.
I think it'd be the Rams, if anything, out of those two.
Now, the Rams are going to snag your wide receiver here. The Rams would most likely.
I get their receivers.
Well, I mean, the Rams could trade up for Spencer Fano if you think about it. They need that offensive line help for Stafford in his last year. They could be going all in, and Spencer's going to be a day one starter. Really,
maybe do Fano just because you saw.
All right, Rams trade up. So for 61 and 13, the Rams traded up. So is that 4 trades now?
Yeah, this is the 4th because we had Dallas and Jets.
All right, so the Rams,
Jets, Browns.
They take Fano. All right.
But did we really do that? So we traded down as the Jets to trade up. That's right. And then Tampa, Cincy. And now, what was it? Rams for 13 and 60. Browns traded down just now, right? It was the Browns?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next one. This is getting really interesting because the Browns, they moved down again. They could take Lemon here. But the Ravens want to trade one up, and then you acquire a 4th-round pick, but it is
get rid of the Vikings on there.
What does the Vikings trade offer? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the Vikings would want at this spot. Maybe Kenyon Sadiq or Jermod McCoy, maybe, but either way. Steelers, no. This is an interesting one, though, because the Ravens are not going to – well, I mean, they actually could probably choose Lemon, but no, I think we stick and pick with the Browns. I think it's enough being cute with the Browns. I think we stick and pick with them and get their wide receiver, Lemon. Yeah? Trevor?
I'm just kind of, thinking of the board. Yeah.
I think that's kind of what you got to do here.
Because then the receivers fall off.
Yeah. All right, Ravens. They need an offensive guard. Lowain is here. So, I mean, it's kind of a telltale one right here.
Yeah, I wouldn't overthink it.
Yeah. Bengals, after they traded down. So, they need an interior lineman, nose tackle, which Peter Woods would fill that hole. Offensive guard, edge. It might be Peter Woods here for.
Do they trade down one more time?
I was thinking the same thing. Let's
2 out of like the top 10 are
Bears up 10. That's too far for the Dolphins. All right, now this is where it gets interesting here. The Seahawks want to trade 3 picks here, a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd-round pick. Every one of the Seahawks' first couple picks to get pick 15. What could the Seahawks want there? They're looking at running back and edge and cornerback and safety.
I don't see Seattle doing that.
I don't either, but they would be going up for Jermod McCoy. So
yeah, I don't know if they're sacrificing that.
Titans, their next 3 picks, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, basically. I don't think so. I think the only one maybe possible is the Bears.
Chicago.
Maybe Chicago, but who would Chicago be trading up for in this point? Probably Peter Woods. That's their biggest need, or an edge, or a corner. So they would have a lot of options. Cincy, I
think Cincy's defense is so bad they need to help out Burrow. Load up on picks. I mean, they
load up on picks, or
too.
Like they have Boye Mafe and.
Well, I mean, just think of their cap. Mm-hmm. So much of their cap is strictly just Burrow, Higgins, Chase.
Do we accept this then?
3 out of 53. Yeah, let's do it.
Bears trade up to 15 in exchange for 25 and 57. All right, there's our 5 trades, but we're just going to keep trading. If it's realistic and stuff, this is fun. So the Bears, this is scary. They get up to 15. Do they select Peter Woods, going to be probably their second or third. I'm forgetting who's on their interior D-line now, but they're not going to take Keldrick Falk right now.
I was going to say they signed Boye Mafe. So
the Bengals did.
Right. Oh,
no, we're talking Bears right now.
Yeah.
But they could use another. Well, didn't they re-sign Nahshon Wright for that 1-year deal, or did Wright go somewhere else? I think they got him back. So their secondary shouldn't be in too many shambles. I think Peter Woods is a good pick for them right now.
All right.
Yeah. Peter Woods. All right, Jets in one of the picks that they got back from a trade. And now the picks, the Jets, they took Sonny Styles. I'm talking like they did it when it was just us. They took Sonny Styles. So obviously they're looking for a wide receiver or quarterback. If we go down the list, Ty Simpson is sitting here, but the Jets still have pick 20. This maybe could be a spot where the Jets trade back. Again, you have another pick here at 20.
Yeah, they're right in front of Pittsburgh.
Let's look at these trades. Buffalo moves up 10. That's possible. The Chiefs moving back 13. All right, the Eagles want to move up 7 spots, and you'd get a second-round pick for the Jets here.
The one thing I will say for the Jets, though, is would the Jets not trade down talent here? Well, but would the Jets want to just secure Simpson here, considering that they would be scared that Pittsburgh would trade up with Detroit, Minnesota, Carolina to jump? Like, say if the Jets trade this pick away, say the Jets were trying to get Simpson at 20, but then Pittsburgh says,
screw that. No, I'm going to trade with the Vikings.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's snag Simpson right here. NFL scouts are loving Ty Simpson right now. Yeah. That's all I've heard. I haven't heard any negatives about him.
Especially because you're talking the quarterback position, so that's like the one position you don't get cute with.
Yep. All right. They just Ty Simpson to the Jets. Yeah.
Do it.
I say let's do it. Yeah. And you have 3 picks in the first round. You kind of just have to use that to your advantage, you know?
Yeah.
All right, Detroit, offensive tackle, offensive center, and edge. So we go back to the top. Monroe Freeling, he is jumping up a lot of boards. Huge dude. And running a 4.940, not bad as a 6'7", 315-pound monster. So the Lions, they love their beefy, tall, huge dudes up front. He would fit the description for the Lions 100%. And I think that might be their pick here. They're not drafting tight end. They're not drafting secondary.
Proctor, but yeah.
Yeah, I think they'd go Freeling in this situation. So, all right, Lions. And your Minnesota Vikings. Safety, Dylan Thieneman is right here. Corner, Jermod McCoy has fallen.
They could take Caleb and just go tackle. Back up to there. So.
Yeah. Let's check these trade offers. Future. All right. The Seahawks want to trade up. That's not going to happen. All right. I think you got to. I love Dylan Thieneman, people, this is a bit of a side note, but Jermod McCoy just had his pro day at Tennessee today. Jermod McCoy ran a 4.3840, and this is coming off of an ACL tear last year. 4.83840. And he set he was like top 5 in cornerbacks in Tennessee's history for vertical jump too. The dude is an athlete and he's really good in man coverage. Vikings, don't overthink this one. Don't be like, we have TJ Hawkinson for a year. We need Kenyon Sadiq. No, Jermod McCoy is sitting right there. You good with that, Trev?
Oh yeah, for sure. Corner is a bigger need than tight end.
100%. All right, Carolina. Nose tackle, offensive guard, wide receivers. I will say, so Caden Proctor, he can play guard. He has switched around in college a fair amount. He can play guard for a team. This is weird. Wide receiver S, which obviously is slot, but I don't see. They have wide receiver slot and then wide receiver. So Carolina really needs a wide receiver. Denzel Boston is an outside receiver. He's not going to be playing slot for him. I think for Carolina, you either go probably Boston or Proctor. Get an offensive guard / just offensive lineman in general, or Denzel Boston. They're obviously really wide receiver needy, you know?
Yeah.
Or Kenyon Sadiq. I don't think they have a prominent tight end on that team.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty obviously a stick and pick for the Panthers, but
I think Boston.
Boston, yeah.
Because who are their receivers? They got Xavier Leggett.
I don't know beyond that. I'm gonna look it up really quickly as we speak.
I'm trying not to look it up.
Roster. McMillan, obviously, 4th overall pick. Yeah, Tatora McMillan.
I knew I was forgetting someone.
But yeah, behind him, it's no one. It's Leggett, and Leggett has not proven anything. Yeah, I'd go Boston here for them. Yeah.
All right. Yep.
And then the Jets. You have Ty Simpson. You got Sonny Styles. You need a wide receiver still. He just went. But they do need interior line and a quarterback, specifically a nickel quarterback, and Avion Terrell is right here for the Jets, and he is designed to be a nickel corner.
Are the Eagles looking to trade up here?
The Niners are 7 spots, which the Niners, they're going to be targeting offensive tackle, Caden Proctor. The Niners could be of interest, or we could see if the Eagles were willing to trade up a little bit here.
I was just thinking because I know they were on the Grenard's team a little bit.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get their 2nd round pick because now it's only trading up 3 picks. I'll send this through. Yeah, 23 and 68 for pick 20 from the Jets. Yeah.
But the thing is, the Jets aren't going for edge, are they?
No.
I guess now that I think about it, so I guess the Eagles wouldn't need to trade up because no one's really going for edge before them. So
yeah, that's true.
They probably won't trade.
I mean, maybe LA, but LA would go tight end if Kenyon falls there. For the Jets, there's not a receiver to take. It might be Terrell here. They need a nickel corner, and they just lost Sauce Gardner. They're obviously weak.
Yeah, true.
Terrell. Let's go Terrell. Yeah. Let's go Terrell. All right. Pittsburgh. They don't get their quarterback. Let's look at the trades. All of them are futures. We don't look at it. All right. Pittsburgh, wide receiver, quarterback, corner, nose tackle, safety. Dylan Thieneman. Jumping up so many boards. He impressed at the combine. There's not a wide receiver. Now there's not a quarterback the Steelers will be drafting until maybe it falls off a cliff.
Real quick, Dallas did lose 6-3.
6-3.
That's we're recording this. Yeah, I'm sure it's an empty netter or two.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but exactly. Wild. Come on. Why can't we just do one thing?
So, but yeah.
People, if the Wild won 2 of the games that they've lost on this bad last 2 weeks, if the Wild won 2 of the games that they lost, they'd be ahead of the Stars right now. So we're gonna stick on that topic for tomorrow when the Wild do play. But Pittsburgh, wide receiver, quarterback, I think they choose Dylan Thieneman. They need a safety. Yeah. Beef up that defense. We're going to go Thieneman. All right, LA.
Sadiq.
Tight end. It is Sadiq. Sadiq has fallen far enough in this draft. So Chargers take Sadiq, but their O-line stinks and has no depth. Caden Proctor might be the pick for them if I actually think right here. You know what I mean here? Their offensive line was injury rattled. It sucked when they were healthy. They need to keep upgrading the line there.
Go Proctor.
Yeah, Proctor. Philly. All right. Cassius Howell. I like Howell more than Falk in this situation. Falk just doesn't get the pressure rate that most of these guys in the first does. But Philly could be in the land to also, that's not doable. Could be in the land to also draft Kenyon Sadiq if we wanted to go that route, but they did just lose. They did just lose Phillips on that edge. So I think Cassius Howell goes right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Browns. And who have the Browns taken so far? So Mekhi Lemon, they got their wide receiver. Okay. That's all I wanted to know because there is KC Concepcion right here. All right, Browns. All of these are futures. All right. Don't need that. All right. Offensive tackle. Law movers are right here for the taking. I think we don't overthink it. We do it right there.
Mm-hmm. Your biggest name.
Yep. All right, Cincy, interior linebacker, nose tackle.
This is the trade down 2 spot where they traded from 15 to 25.
This has either Caleb Banks or but he's a beast. He's so big. But my opinion, Caden McDonald, they need that nose tackle, and most of the time a nose tackle is going to be pretty much in there to stop the run. Caden McDonald maybe does that the best in this draft for interior defensive linemen. Dude is a chunky piece of meat right there. Caden McDonald is 6'2", 326 pounds. I think Cincy would take for their defense here. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Caden McDonald right there. All right, Buffalo is their first pick. Wide receiver, they need it. They really in dire need.
They really do.
They really need it. There's a lot
Jordan
of
Addison,
what's with all these future
Bill.
picks. Not liking this. We don't want any future stuff. All right.
Buffalo. Can you imagine if we did a mock draft for list, and then we did a early mock 2027 draft where we got to predict
video would be 3 hours long. Oh gosh, yeah. All right. Buffalo. I think KC right here. It says Kevin, but he wants to go by KC. So, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Now, you need a wide receiver for Josh Allen. Simple as that.
Or they just go like triple tight end, Knox, Sadiq, and who's the other guy? I'm forgetting his name. Kincaid. Knox and Kincaid, and then pair it with Sadiq. Just full Rams, 3 tight ends, 1 receiver.
All right, here's the first trade offer that's not future in a while. The Cardinals want to trade up 7 spots here, and you'd also pick up a late second if you're the Niners. Which Niners, you're looking at offensive tackle. You're looking at offensive line in general here. This is tough right here. Interior D-line, Caleb Banks is right there. The offensive tackles, Max Ian Anchor. Oh, he is a beast too. I saw that Mike Vrabel was actually going one-on-one with Max at their pro day.
Oh, hands-on. I saw that.
Yeah. So this was the guy he was doing that with. So that's pretty fun. Really getting that hands-on look into
literally hands-on.
Yeah. Niners here, nothing sticks out a lot. The Cardinals, they would be
real quick. Who's your top tight end need team? It's kind of funny Sadiq's fallen this far.
Miami would probably take Miami or New England here. He's gonna go in the first round between one of those teams there.
Snag him.
I think the Niners. I think the reason the Cardinals would want to trade up is because Falk is, and I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just like Cassius Howell a bit more just because of the raw rushing ability. But Falk is still a great prospect. And I think that's who the Cardinals could trade up for here. If we do one more trade in the first round here, I think we do that.
This would be the 6th trade. So
the 6th one?
Yeah, which is totally fine. I mean, I think 5 was just that realistic number we thought is.
So, yep. Right. Yeah.
So, 34 and 65. Yeah.
Okay. Doing it. All right. Cardinals trade up and select Falk, who has obviously slid a little bit like Kenyon, too. So.
Hold on. Do you remember 27 for what was it?
65 and 34. Yep. 34 and 65.
No, it's San Fran, right?
Yeah. All right. These trades are not worth it. All right. Houston is on the clock. Offensive guard, nose tackle. Their whole offensive line as a whole. They need guard. They need center. They need tackle. Obviously, we saw it against the Patriots in the playoffs. Max Ian Anchor from AZ. He
Not
is
to get distracted. Right, apparently, there is a goalie fight. Rangers versus Devils goalie fight. We'll have to watch that later.
Yeah, right. This is the pick right here. Max. They need to boost their offensive line. Yeah. This is an obvious one. And then KC.
That poor playoff game against the Patriots.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, KC. And now, who was our pick with the Chiefs earlier? Mansour Delane. Yes. Okay. So Delane, there was another pick. The Chiefs still need a wide receiver. Omar Cooper here. One of the big reasons Indiana won the national championship. It's not like you're falling, or it's not like you're reaching a ton. He's kind of just around your time here. They could go edge and they could go interior D-line. Although interior D-line, they still do have Jones up the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Him and Caleb Banks together would be a lethal duo in the middle of that defensive line. That would be lethal for the Chiefs. I mean, here's the thing. Patrick Mahomes, he's going to carry an offense no matter what. I think they need to focus more on the defense, especially after losing two corners, your top two corners, which we addressed that with the Mansour Delane pick. But are you good if I pick Caleb Banks for the Chiefs here?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Miami. Is this Kenyon Sadiq's time? Is he finally leaving us? I think so.
I think so. I mean, insane value for a team that desperately needs to just take best player available.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can get that value at first round.
Yeah, exactly.
For them completely tearing up there.
All right. So Giants want to move up 6 spots to the Patriots. But the Patriots, they need a wide receiver. Diggs is gone, right? Or did they
he got released.
Yeah,
he was released. Still unsigned.
Yeah, exactly. So New England, they need a wide receiver, though. Omar Cooper is in reach here. Offensive tackle, they do need Blake Miller, which I'm not a huge fan of, but still a good prospect for him. Edge, interior D-line. I think you take Omar Cooper here. Get another weapon for Drake May.
Yeah.
Omar Cooper. Welcome to New England. And then the Seahawks, after like million attempts to trade up in this draft, are finally on the clock. They need a run.
Who's the nearest running back here?
It's gonna be Jadarian Price, but that'll be a second round.
Yeah, that'd be a reach. Does Seattle maybe trade down just because that team is still pretty darn good?
Why do they need edge here? I mean, they lost Boye Mafe, but he was kind of a hybrid edge rusher, drop back linebacker role.
I don't know. That's a position though where you can never have enough edge. I mean, look at the Vikings. Dallas Turner is our current third.
Now they did lose Reek Woolen and another corner on that. Right, The only secondary guy that they kept was Kobe Bryant. So I think Colton Hood, who also ran a 4.3940 in Tennessee's pro day today, I think he would be their pick here. Beef up that secondary again. Great in man coverage, Colton Hood.
Yeah, and he's kind of at that value.
Yeah.
Right at. Yeah, that makes sense. You really don't want to reach for first round. I mean, just take the best player available and then worry about positioning. Kind of
unless there's
third round and later.
Here. Well, I mean, this is interesting. You did talk about the idea of a trade. I mean, Chiefs want to go 8 up.
The thing with the trade is this is the 32nd pick, obviously, right? So it's the team's last chance. So if any team not too far down is high on a player, bonuses. If a team's that high on a player, that 5th year option, that additional 5th year, would be crucial for whatever team would trade up. So that's why Lamar Jackson or why the Ravens traded up for Lamar. I mean, helps when you're taking a quarterback and you're talking about a 5th year option in this premier position. But point being, whatever team,
I think Colton Hood here.
Whatever. Yeah,
I think Colton Hood's the right pick. All right, Browns on the board again, and now just to review. Again, the Browns took Mekhi Lemon and Caleb, so they got a tackle and a wide receiver. Don't have to worry about anything else. They need a center and an edge. Now, I'm just going to filter by interior O-line. Nearest center is Connor Liu. That'd be reaching for it, though. But edge, 2 guys here. TJ Parker, not a huge fan myself, but Akeem Mesidor, I am a fan of. I think that would be their pick here. Yeah.
Yeah, pair him up with Miles.
Garrett. Yeah. All right. The Vikings wanting to trade up with the Niners, but I just don't think it's very realistic trading back. Well, they're 15 spots. The Eagles want to trade up 20. We're going to keep it realistic. Niners want a tackle, an offensive guard. Who did we choose with the Niners the first time?
They traded down. They were like pick 20.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
San Fran traded down with Arizona at 27.
Yep. Offensive tackle, I think they would choose Blake Miller here. I think that's an obvious one. They need to choose the talent when it's there. Blake Miller. Yeah. All right. Tennessee. This is where TJ Parker goes. I mean, Tennessee, they got Carnell Tate, and that was their only first-round pick. Yeah. TJ Parker. Boom.
Sweet.
All right.
Vegas.
A few trade offers here for Vegas's pick. Is this Vegas's first pick? Yeah, it is, isn't it? No, well, Mendoza, I guess Fernanda. Yeah. That one we just went right past. That's why I didn't remember it. Obviously, they need a wide receiver, guard, interior D-line, which Lee Hunter is here. There's not a receiver until Chris Brazel. It wouldn't be a huge reach. It'd be a reach. You could probably get him later, but all right. Let's look at these trade offers real quick. Vikings, you would move back 13. Atlanta, move back 12. I mean, not very likely with either of those. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, sticking and picking for the Raiders. Interior D-line corner, Chris Johnson. Very good in man coverage. I think he, if I'm remembering correctly, 3 interceptions last year. And 2 pick sixes. Look at that. He's a ball hawk. I knew that, but I didn't know those were the stats specifically. Either way, yeah, Chris Johnson. I think that would be a great pick for them right now. Unless we did trade down, because there's not really – you could get a cornerback later, but there's just no interior D-line, wide receiver, or guard for that matter. Here's a good one. The Saints want to trade up 6 spots. This might be one where we look at right here, yeah? Saints move up 6, and then you get an early 3rd-round pick. Yeah?
Yeah, hold on, let me write it down. The Saints.
Saints get 36. Raiders get 42 and 73.
42, 73. Do it.
All right, Saints would trade up. They also need a wide receiver, but they need a linebacker, and C.J. Allen has fallen far enough. He's a stud. Stud in the making here. C.J. Allen would pretty obviously go to the Saints here, in my opinion, at least. Yeah. All right.
By the way, that's Giants. Our 7th trade.
7th? Okay. Perfect. Saints, they selected their edge rusher in David Bailey, and then that was their first one. All right. Or wait, no, we're in the Giants. They got Caleb Downs, didn't they? Yeah, they did. All right. Caleb Downs, and they're looking at wide receiver and corner. Chris Johnson, this is where you go. Corner. They need a corner. Chris Johnson is sitting there.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Kind of top available guy besides
Houston, still looking for that offensive line.
Well, didn't we address it?
Well, he did tackle, but they in dire need of a guard too.
Yeah.
And the Saints, that's an old one. Packers, that's the first time we've seen them on the trade board, but these are a bit too far, trading back 15 each. Offensive guard, not many options. Nose tackle, so Lee Hunter would address that. They need that nose tackle. This guy's a huge run stopper too, big run stopper. Plus, if I'm remembering correctly, pretty dang good pass rusher too. But he's known for his run stopping with Lee Hunter. So I think that would be a good pick for Houston right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go Lee Hunter.
Yeah.
All right. And then that leaves the Browns with the opportunity to select Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, which I think
their need best available player.
Even better.
Yeah, let's do it.
So yeah. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren.
Third need is best available. Yep.
I guess we should look at trades now. All right. Actually, wait a second. Nope, I read that wrong. Nope. Warren, boom. All right, Chiefs at 40. The Chiefs, they chose the corner.
Delane, yeah.
And then Caleb Banks at the end of the first. So they got an interior line and a corner. Could go try to get Chris. Oh, that would be a great pick for them, actually. Chris Brazel. Or they could address their edge room with Zion Young or Mason Thomas. If they were going to pick one, it would be Mason Thomas right here. Out of the 2 edge rushers right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a tough one because they really need that wide receiver too. They really need that. Let's look at the trades real quick. Only one here. It's trading down 13. We'll say no. What do you think? Do they go edge or do they take Brazel? I don't think it'd be a big reach. I mean, you're getting talent no matter what. You know what I mean?
Brazel, just because.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
The receivers aren't good, and Kelsey's almost certainly doing his final year this year. Yes. I mean, and even if Kelsey, plays say 2 years, the next 2, it's you still need receivers regardless if Kelsey's there or not. And even with Kelsey, he's not the same Kelsey he was.
Yep. Before, let's go Brazel then. Chiefs get a stud at wide receiver. Yeah. Bengals back on the clock. And with them at 5, didn't we take 15? Oh, no, we traded.
No, Cincy was a trade.
Caden McDonald at 25. And then they didn't have a second round pick. All right, interior line. Oh, this is perfect for them. Anthony Hill. This is a perfect player for them in this situation. He's fallen just a little bit below his value.
That's true. Yeah.
This is a perfect pick for the Bengals, right at 41. Anthony Hill will play that defense easily. All right, Vegas. They still need a wide receiver. Fernando, and then who was their pick? Or we traded down with them, right? Yep, this was the pick we got when we traded down with the Raiders. Wide receiver is the big need. Offensive guard, too, as something got in my eye that hurts like it must be a little fly or a gnat.
Here, look right. Close at the camera. I can get it for you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, they're going to go probably wide receiver here. They're not going to pass up the talent. I don't like Bernard. I'm going to put it very clearly out there. He had too many drops at Alabama. Not the quickest, not the greatest route runner. Not bad, but they could very much benefit.
The new Devontae Adams when we come back to him.
Hey, Zach Branch here, one of the fastest wide receivers in the draft. This could benefit Vegas a lot by taking Zachariah Branch. Yeah.
True. Yeah. Then it'd be Naylor. Who else do they got? They got Tucker.
I forget, but Tucker and then Branch. So, and then I know they have other, but either way, they have Bowers too. So good receiving core right there. All right, Zachariah Branch to the Raiders. Dolphins are on. There's that's trading back 17. No. Packers are wanting to trade up. That's 9 spots. That's maybe doable based on what we're seeing here. They want a guard, the Dolphins do, an edge. There's a lot of edges here, and I think you'd most likely 100% go Mason Thomas. I think so. I think you just got to address it right away. Mason Thomas right here. I actually really like Mason Thomas. All right, Jets in one of the trades here. No trade offers. Wide receiver still. We haven't chosen a wide receiver for the Jets yet. They got Sonny Styles, Ty Simpson, and then, I guess Avion Terrell. Okay, so yeah, the Jets. Did they already have a second-round pick yet? No, okay, so this is their first second-round pick. Wide receiver, Bernard, but they do have Breece Hall for one more year because they franchised him, right?
Yeah.
Christian Miller actually is probably what they would go here. Another really good run stopper.
I know that offensive receiver room is just terrible after Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, the Bernard would be a good pick for them here. Yeah, I think that's realistic. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just kind of scanning at everyone.
Okay. Let's do that,
probably receiver. Yeah, Bernard.
Yeah. All right, Baltimore interior D line and wide receiver. There's not a wide receiver to choose now, but there's a center, which I think Pregon has played center. Either way, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Miller is their right pick here. Beef up that defense again. Wait, we got to look at the trades. No.
Wait.
Miller. And then the Bengals are back on. The Bengals, they got their interior linebacker, Anthony Hill. Bengals in the first, they got their linebacker and an interior D-line. So they need a guard, and there's 2 guards sitting here. Chase and Emmanuel. I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I don't know the kid from Texas A&M as much, but I know Pregnon. I know him well. Really good feet. Big dude. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not getting this mixed up with anyone, his pass blocking needs work, but his run blocking is really good. So that could be an issue, but I think they would go the guard from Oregon here, address the offensive line. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Indianapolis, with their first pick in this draft. They need a tackle. They need a wide receiver, outside linebacker. Not really an outside linebacker option, except if you go down to Jake Golday, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not going to lie to you right now. Not a wide receiver. I know. Well, here's the thing. This is their first pick. I was going to say maybe a trade down, but you just don't have any picks because you traded everything for Sauce Gardner. So it's you kind of obligated to pick here no matter what, right? You don't want to get too cute maybe and trade the one pick that you kept in that trade for Sauce Gardner. That's unlikely. Yeah. So this is tough. Interior D-line, I guess they need an edge down the list a little bit. So Zion Young is right there. The great thing about Zion Young, really good wingspan. He has a big reach, and that's really key at the edge position. So I think if you're good, I think Zion's probably the best option for him. Right? Would you agree with that? There's just no others. I would say trade down, but
is that even a? Well, that's not. Like that's not really a need of theirs, is it?
Edge? Yeah, it's really not. It's like it's 6th down the list here, but the first 5 positions, there's no one here for those positions.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I would say trade down, but it's like the Colts. This is their first pick. There's offers. There's an offer you would move down 13 and acquire a 3rd round pick. You know, do you want to do that? You wouldn't do this, but
what do the Bears need? Who would the Bears hypothetically be trading up for?
Good question. Oh, they would probably trade up for Zion Young. Or, Brandon Cece is actually probably exactly what they would do. They need that extra corner. So
yeah, so maybe we do
trade
for the 8th trade.
Yep. So that was 108 plus 108 and 60, or what was that? 60. Yeah, 60 and 108 for 47. So yeah, the Bears will take who? I'll let you choose. Brandon Cece or Zion Young?
Sorry, I'm corner writing
or
it
edge?
Down.
Corner or edge? You choose.
Biggest need edge. You go edge.
All right, Zion Young. Atlanta, they need a wide receiver, tight end, corner. There is Eli Stowers peeking above this board here, the 2nd tight end in this draft. I don't know if you'd reach that much because Brandon Cece is a great cornerback out of South Carolina. So you would fill that position right then and there for Atlanta. And I think that's pretty likely. So is that fair? Take the corner. He's dropping. But which corner do you take? Because D'Angelo Pons or Brandon Cece, I like Pons more. I think they would go Pons over Cece. I think really any team would.
You know, screw it. They'll go championship bias.
Yes. Perfect. Oh, this works just perfectly. Who did the Vikings take? Jermod McCoy. We got them in the first, right? Jermod McCoy in the first round for the Vikings. I don't know why Brandon Cece's grayed out because we chose. Oh wait, we chose a corner. I'm sorry. I thought we picked. Never mind. All right, nose tackle. We need a center here in Minnesota, but this is not a bad spot to draft Connor Lew. But KOC seems pretty confident in Blake Brandel. I think Jacob Rodriguez.
I was gonna say I don't think you go center here. I think and I probably passing on Price. I thought about that, but you have Jones and you worry about running.
I think you go Rodriguez. Yep. Yeah. Rodriguez. All right, Detroit center. It's a big need for them, but edge it might be a bigger need. They need to revamp their defense after losing some guys, replacing some guys. But they need a corner. They really need a corner. So let's see here. Brandon Cece, Keith Abney, which I actually really like Abney too. Abney's way better and man coverage than Cece. Cece's just average at everything, which is great for
Connor Lew, edge, or Jacobs.
I forget how to say his last name, but all speed right there. He's a Dallas Turner 2.0 here, which I think that could be the good pick for them here. Yeah.
Yeah, just because that's kind of their best available option, it looks like, yeah.
Yep. All right, Carolina, nose tackle, offensive guard. Chase Basantis is right here. Right here for Carolina's picking. I think that's what we got to do. All right, Packers with their first pick in this draft. Looking at guard, Jennings Dunker, which this guy is just completely Iowa. Look at this guy.
Oh, I think that was the dude that he was on Rich Eisen's show.
Yep.
With the hair.
You're right. So interior D line, but you're either going Brandon Cece or Dunker. I'll let you choose. They need the guard play. They just need it. I think you would. It is a reach a little bit, but Dunker is a good player for him.
It's your biggest need.
And he looks just completely Midwest and Wisconsin. You got to keep him in the Midwest. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Let's
true.
do that. All right, Pittsburgh.
And it is the biggest need.
Yeah. Dylan Thieneman is who Pittsburgh chose in the first round. So they got their safety. They need a wide receiver. Chris Bell is here. Chris Bell is just the perfect wide receiver as like a whole. 6'1", perfect. Like he's a Justin Jefferson height and body type. Good route runner, good hands. He just doesn't do anything like exceptionally well. But Chris Bell
just
would
bounce.
be completely balanced.
I know I'm cool with that top need.
All right, and you snag a wide receiver from Philly, which if they are keeping AJ Brown, I don't know why that's such a big deal for them.
And Devontae Smith.
Yeah, with
Smith that really does not make sense.
I don't get that, but offensive tackle is a big need for them. Tight end, Eli Stowers. I think that could be an interesting one right there for sure. You know?
Yeah, I don't really buy the receiver thing, and I don't see a tackle. Defensive tackle.
There's not a tackle going to be available except Turner here, but he's a bit down the board.
I would probably
Stowers.
Go. Yeah, Stowers.
All right, LA interior D line.
We want linemen initially, right?
With LA, Caden Proctor got tackle. We went tackle with Caden Proctor. So LA tight end, edge, guard, and corner could be Brand Cece's time to go. It could be. You solve the offensive line. They don't need a center.
Yeah, and they get him at good value.
I think you Cece. Yeah, a really good value. Cece's dropped a lot. So, all right. Jacksonville with their first pick of the draft. Corner and safety. Those are the two. AJ Halsey's right here. He has climbed a lot of boards here. I didn't think he'd be this high. But right now they need a corner, and Keith Abney is their guy right here. Good man coverage. He's kind of just what I said with Chris Bell, just balanced. Great corner prospect. All right, Bengals. So the Bengals, they picked Caden McDonald in the first round, got their interior D-line. Then they got their guard and a linebacker. So guard, linebacker, and an interior D-line is what they got. An edge, Malachi Lawrence, interesting. Another Dallas Turner type, ran a 4.52 40 at 6'4", 250. So this guy is fast off the edge. Super fast. And I think they could use that. Because they're losing Hendrickson. Hendrickson isn't even signed yet, is he? Holy moly.
Who? Who's not signed? Hendrickson? He went to the Ravens.
Did he? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he went right after the whole Max Crosby debacle.
Oh, yeah. I forgot we talked about that. Okay, yeah. I'm losing my mind.
Once again, get with the program.
Either way, Malachi Lawrence is their pick here. Undoubtedly. San Fran offensive guard. Connor Liu is their pick because they do need a center. Connor Liu, you are not going to drop any more in this draft. That's their pick.
Here to save you.
Yeah. All right. Is this where Jadarian Price, the falling Jadarian Price, goes?
So they traded for Montgomery, and then they've got. What's the deal with Mixon? Is he still under contract?
No, he's a free agent, and he isn't signed yet. I know that one for a fact.
He might not be signed. He might just be done.
No, okay. I do want to check up on this.
Who's the young Woods? They got Woods, Montgomery from the Lions.
No, I don't know.
I think it's just those two. So maybe they go, three-headed monster.
Maybe, but dang it, I want to see what the Titans are wanting to trade up, and it's not a terrible trade offer. 7, and then you get an early 4th round pick with it.
Where are they trading up though?
Well, no, I'm trying to. All right, where's the Titans on here? Titans need a tackle, an inside linebacker, and wide receiver. Tackle, inside linebacker. I mean, Jake Golday is there, but they need an inside guy.
Outside,
yeah. I don't know why.
Tierman or however you say that.
Wide receivers, running back. Well, okay, here's the thing. Running back would not be a horrible option for the Titans getting Jadarian to pair up with Pollard. We keep seeing these two-headed monsters. I think that would actually be very realistic for them to trade up and get Jadarian because the Texans are in a spot to trade. Let's accept this, yeah? Right. Texans drop out of the second into the third. Easy. Jadarian Price, you are a Titan. All right, Indianapolis, outside linebacker.
The ninth trade.
Wow.
What was that again? What's the... So
it was this right here. So, or well,
59.
59 for 66 and 104. That's what it was. 66 and 104.
And why am I blanking? Right. Tennessee traded with who again?
Houston.
Yep.
All right. Indianapolis outside linebacker Jake Golday. You are not falling any longer. That's what it is. That's what we're gonna go with. Yep. Cool. They need that outside linebacker. Cleveland. Available. What has Cleveland done up to this point now? In the second round here, they took the safety Emmanuel, and they got an edge in Mesidor, and then they got a tackle in the first and a wide receiver. They've had 4 picks already. Oh my gosh. Okay. So what was that? Wide receiver, tackle, edge, and where's their 4th pick? Oh, and safety. I still forgetting what I just said, but
well, it's grayed out, Bruce.
Oh, you're right. Shoot, I completely forgot about that. All right, they're not taking a quarterback, which is their top need here. Corner Keontae Scott is there. Had a good playoff with Miami. I think that's probably what they would do. They need a corner. Yeah, let's do that.
Yep.
All right, Keontae. And then 3 picks left. Denver. And this is, I think, where Max Clare goes. Didn't they just lose Fant, too, in free agency?
Who's a free agent? I don't know.
He went to the Saints. No, Fant went to the Saints. I know that.
Okay. Good job.
So, Max Clare. Yeah, I can't get all of them mixed up. Ohio State's tight end had a pretty dang impressive year. So, there we go. Well, next you have another option.
This is the 2 final pick warning. The 2 final pick warning.
And now New England. You either go Romello Height, I forget how you say it. Which if people have watched our mock drafts, I don't like him. If they were going to choose an edge right here, it'd be Joshua Josephs. Caleb Tiernan, though, huge dude, 6'8". That's what I thought. I was going to say 6'7", but 6'8", 323. Dude's really good in pass blocking, but run blocking is a different story.
He is the best available. I mean, they're all kind of in the same area.
I didn't realize Derek Moore was still here for edge. I did not realize that quite a bit at all.
English.
I don't know what I just said. Shush. I'll let you choose. It's either Tiernan or Derek Moore. You get a tackle, but tackle's their top need. So I would probably.
Who's your other tackle? Campbell and who?
I don't.
Morgan Moses.
Was it Vidarian Lowe?
No.
Or it was Moses.
Yeah, so maybe they'll go tackle.
Yeah, we'll go tackle.
I don't know if he retired or not.
Yeah. All right, and here's the interesting one. Seattle, they really need a running back now.
Can you imagine if Price would have fell to them?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was close, but I know it's a pull here, but Mike Washington is 100% in play.
Look at trade offers. It won't, we won't get to it, but were they any offers around 75, 76, 78?
79, 82, 65. Oh, that's the Niners trading with 1 pick. Yeah. But just because Mike Washington, people, if you don't know what we're talking about here, he's 6'1". He's a big dude. He's a David Montgomery body type.
And they're down their top 2 running backs. So Walker left.
Exactly.
They won't be ready till.
This is my favorite pick in this entire mock draft. The last one. Seahawks are. But here's the thing: you could trade down, but
there's a reason with
I think if you traded down even to 70, I think there's a high chance Washington goes before that. Washington is going to.
But the other thing with that too is, say in the scenario we're in, say Seattle would want to trade down and not take Washington this early. You still need to find a team that is willing to trade up. So I think in this case you just take him, because honestly we kind of did that, right? We like that trade offer.
Yep.
Nothing that really made sense. So the Seattle's if you really like the guy, hypothetically in this case they do, just take Washington.
Okay, so here's my favorite thing about him. Averaging 3.86 yards after contact. 6th among draft-eligible Power 4 running backs per PFF. Dude's a bulldozer, and he runs a 4.340. Bulldozer with breakaway speed. I really want the Vikings to target him.
Yeah,
if they could.
Oh yeah, keep going.
No, I'm done, and we got to wrap this up.
Yeah, basically, so with Charbonnet out for however many weeks, he'll be out to start the year. Their other running backs are all guys I've never heard of, and I don't know if you've heard of them either. Emmanuel Wilson, George Halani, and Kenny McIntosh.
Well, okay, Emmanuel Wilson, Packers backup for like 2 years. But I don't know the other two.
Oh yeah, true. But still, I mean, point being,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, there's the draft, and that was too much fun. I loved that, and my favorite pick was the last one with Washington. So
all the trades real quick. So there's 9 total. You had Dallas move up to 2, pick 2.
Mm-hmm.
Jets down for 12, 20, and 112. Then you had the Jets trade back up to get 6 with the Browns. Browns get 12 and 33. Third trade was Tampa Bay moves up 10 from 15 and 45. Rams moved up a pick to 12. Cleveland got 13 and 61. Bears went up to 15 since he gets 25, 57. Arizona moved up 7 or moved down. Or sorry, San Fran moved down 7 spots for 27.
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, now we're just getting in the weeds. But the Dallas one's interesting because the Jets trade from 2 to 12. You get 20 and 112. But then
I actually really like that.
They traded 12. They traded 12 who they got from Dallas, and then they're on 33 to get 6. And then Cincinnati was the other team I noticed. So Cincy went from 10 to 15 and 45, and then traded on again with the Bears. And then they got, for 15, they got 25 and 57. So Cincy went from 10 and turned 10 to 15 and 45, they turned 15 into 25, 57. Which, that would actually make a whole lot of sense for Cincy. You have so many holes. They filled a few of those needs in free agency. Obviously, we know Burrow and Chase and Higgins, they can put up points. They can work its magic now. It's balancing out that team. And, I mean, they're in a tough spot cap-wise, paying those 3 guys alone so much money, and then you got to put together 50 other players on your roster within the cap. So,
to be honest, I think the winners of this draft are one you just mentioned, either the Jets, because if you look, I mean, the Jets, they trade down, like you said, they trade back up. You get Sonny Styles, an absolute beast of a player. Then they get their quarterback in Ty Simpson. Avion Terrell should be a good corner in the league. That's 3 picks in the first round. And then you go to round 2, and then they picked at 44 and got a wide receiver in Jeremy Bernard. But I think that was my second place. My number 1 for this draft is easily the Browns. I don't know how with trades and stuff, but somehow we got the Browns to pick 5 times in the first 2 rounds here, and it could not have gone better for this Browns team. 5 picks in rounds 1 and 2. Vikings, take notes. If you would have tanked for like the last 4 games here, we could have done something like this. They got, like, in this draft, the Browns got Mekhi Lemon, and then they got a huge offensive tackle move in Caleb Lamu, and then I'm missing someone. I know I am. I think I just counted 3 guys in there. Okay, maybe 3. Oh, yeah, it was 3 second rounders. First pick in the second round, they got a day 1 starter on the edge to pair up with Myles Garrett and Mesidor. Then they got a huge hitter, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, at safety. Emmanuel is a just beast, Harry Hitman type guy. And then later they got another corner in Keontae Scott, who had a great playoff. Really fun. And people will probably end up doing one more closer to draft time because we're doing these every 2 weeks now. Closer to draft day, we'll have another one of these out. But either way, we're going to wrap this up. It's got a little bit longer, but honestly, we moved pretty fast throughout the whole thing. We tried our best, people. If you stuck through all of that, leave us a like for that. That was a lot of fun, and show us that you want more of them. That's all I got to say there. Other than that, people, enjoy your Minnesota sportsless day, except for the Twins here at 6:40 tonight. And yeah, you got to move your finger a little bit. You're mirrored. Move it to your right.
What? Really?
Yeah, right there. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Twins on pace for 1 and 161.
Oh my gosh!
All right, people, keep up the support on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. These YouTube subscribers keep going up, and we love seeing them go up even more from where they are now. So let's keep it going. Come find us at Twins opening day in 2 days.
Just shout our name. I'm sure we'll hear you out of the 12 fans.
TCST. With all the 30 people that are there in this 30-degree snowy weather opening day game. All right, people. Twin City Sports Talk, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.